Hernandez. I'm the Centro Associate Director for Library and Archives. On behalf of the Centro family, we want you to have a nice evening. We welcome you to celebrate the heritage of Puerto Rican artists in New York City. Before we proceed with tonight's program, we would like to take a few minutes to point out one of our most important literary archival collections, the Pedro Pietri papers. With us is today Señor Juan Valenzuela, who's going to speak about the collection. Thank you.
Good evening. I am here at the behest of Margarita Deida Pietri, executor of the estate of Pedro Pietri, who has asked me to come here and speak for her. Can you hear now? Thank you. I am here at the behest of Margarita Deida Pietri, executor of the estate of Pedro Pietri, who has asked me to speak for her. Margarita is very glad, in fact, she's thrilled that people have or make an effort to enhance or add to Pedro's memory. She's also very grateful to an individual or a group that wants to work with Pedro's plays, poetry, or things. When I say things, Pedro Pietri was a mixed media artist, and he did many things with his hands. He built things, and he had also ideas. Margarita is very open, so much so that she put Pedro's work out there. And when I say out there, it's right here. Thanks to el Centro de Estudios Puertorriqueños at Hunter and Margarita, the canon of Pedro's work is available to the public to be seen. All you have to do is call El Centro Archives, make an appointment, you come in, you are seated at a table, and a catalog is given to you. A catalog that contains Pedro's life and work. I have done that twice. I have been here twice, and it has been a very beautiful, almost a spiritual experience, maybe because I admire Pedro's work, and we were very close. Still, the work is in here, is open to all of you. But in this business, there are laws, copyright laws. And Margarita is very open to any group that wants to develop a project or do something with Pedro's work, as long as this group comes in honestly and with fair intentions. Totally open. She can be talked to, she can be agreed to, and she will help, even if it's in her power, to develop that project. A project like this, I'm sure about the fact, this is a fact, because I knew Pedro really well, that even though this project is beautiful, is great, a great idea, the Pedro Pietri Hand Awards, I know for a fact that Pedro would give awards to nobody but himself. Now, I say that everything should be in the open. The friendship, the love, and the intellectual relationship that many of us in this room had with Pedro should be of some value and capricious act should not be used to ban anyone as I have been banned. Now, I want to tell you that in here, I am as a member in exile of the Latin Insomniacs Motorcycle Club, Inc., without motorcycles, of which Pedro was the spiritual guide, and I am, for all practical purposes, the artistic director. Thank you.
Thank you, Senor Valenzuela. And here with us is Adam, the director of the Puerto Rican Embassy.
Gracias, mi gente, gracias. Thank you, Juan. On behalf of the entire Pietri family, el Puerto Rican Embassy, and el Centro de Estudios Puertorriqueños, I welcome you to the second annual and not so annual Reverendo Pedro Pietri Hand Awards. This is my teleprompter, folks. This evening we are gathered here in memory of one of the greatest poet-playwrights of the 20th century, el Reverendo Pedro Pietri. El Puerto Rican Embassy and its parent state, el Spirit Republic de Puerto Rico, was conceived in 1976 by Eduardo Figueroa when he said, "We are a spirit republic and Puerto Ricans are a rainbow people. We are made of all the races of the world. Wherever you go, there you will meet yourself." After Eddie passed, Reverendo Pedro and I, along with original members Papuleto, Joe Pietri, Carmen Pietri Diaz, and a few from the new generation like Mariposa, Sheila Candelario, Ricardo Peña Villa, developed the embassy to where it is today. A collective of poets, playwrights, writers, visual artists, and performance artists, and a space where we empower ourselves through our own creative intentions. Now, with this idea in mind, and with the intention of celebrating and documenting our accomplishments, the Puerto Rican Embassy has created the Reverendo Pedro Pietri Hand Awards in order to recognize significant artistic and cultural contributions by Puerto Rican, Neo-Rican artists, musicians, political activists working in the respective fields today. The Pedro Pietri Hand Award was designed by Adal, and the ring that sits on the finger was designed in collaboration with the celebrated Neo-Rican artist, Olga Ayala. Olga, take a bow. This year, the Reverendo Pietri Awards will be presented to Miriam Colon, actor and founder of the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, and to Saki Shangay, poet, playwright, author of For Color Girls Who Considered Suicide When the Rainbow's Enough. By the way, that's in production to be a big Hollywood movie, isn't it? Excellent. That deserves a round of applause. Dilcia Pagan, activist, producer, filmmaker, visual artist, all around. Tato Laviera, poet, playwright, winner of the American Book Awards for Enclave. A posthumous hand award will be given to Jose Chewy Torres, first light heavyweight champion of the world, journalist, and best-selling author. And the second posthumous hand award will go to Carlos Ortiz, photographer, filmmaker, and producer-director of the award-winning film Machito, a Latin jazz legacy. So sit back, enjoy, and welcome our first poet, El Reverendito, the Reverend, the Little Reverend, Speedo, Pedro's own son and creative inheritor.
All right. Good evening, and the title of the poem is "To Get Drunk, You Have to Drink" by by Reverend Pedro Pietri. Unseen faces keep appearing in the evening of the sky. No one saw what they were hearing. Unseen faces keep appearing. Those who are not born were fearing that they too would someday die. Unseen faces keep appearing in the evening of the sky. There was never no tomorrow, it was all about today. When you and your lover quarrel, there was never no tomorrow. Return all the dreams you borrowed that will never come your way. There was never no tomorrow, it was all about today. This planet is still unknown, though it may seem very clear. Mysteries are all we own. This planet is still unknown. Everyone alive stays stoned until it's time to disappear. This planet is still unknown, though it may seem very clear. Start driving without a car, or the lights are turning red. If you want to get real far, start driving without a car. Move by staying where you are. The steering wheel is in your head. Start driving without a car, or the lights are turning red. Inside darkness, there is a light. Inside water, there is fire. Black magic is out of sight. Inside darkness, there is light. Turning left is turning right. Coming down will get you higher. Inside darkness, there is light. Inside water, there is fire. Blue was never really blue. Pink was never really pink. Somebody was fooling you. Blue was never really blue. What is false is really true. To get drunk, you have to drink. Blue was never really blue. Pink was never really pink. Somebody was fooling you.
Bravo!
Alright, now we're going to show a video of me and my father doing the Spanglish national anthem. I was like 3 years old, so basically I'm just following along.
Okay, now this is just the tune of the San Juan, so you can join me in the chorus only if you know how to sing. If you don't, join me anyway. The San Juan is Spanglish. In Spanglish, it's not it. Okay, goes like this. In my viejo San Juan, they raised the price of pan, so I fly to Manhattan. It was then that I swear everyone took welfare, especially the Latins. To Entanjo I went in pursuit of Lorette, and a fire from a puppy, where my neighbors will be Puerto Ricans like me, dressed in tropical garments. I know. Oh, you people know about that, huh? Okay. I know. I miss Puerto Rico. I'm free and so. I'm living in my community. Beware, anything that can happen. I return to San Juan, almost the price of fountain. My villa is done. Many cheers came and went.
Beautiful to be here. It's such an honor and a privilege to be at this great annual event where we honor and pay tribute to the memory and the legacy of our brother Pedro. Please put your hands together for little Reverend Speedo, Pedro's pride and joy. Thank you, Speedo. We're proud of you. Keep doing your thing. All right, it's my pleasure. By the way, Adal forgot to mention that here at Puerto Rican Embassy, which Pedro would say is not a place but a state of mind, I was given the honor of being the first and thus far only female head of state of the new hybrid state of New York. Both Pedro and Adal gave me this honor in 2001 when Hillary Clinton decided to run, and they thought, you know, that the embassy should have a powerful mujer with such a title of prestige and stature. So, there it is. Anyway, it is my pleasure to bring up a dear brother and a friend and a legend in his own right, someone who was very dear to Pedro, published poet and produced playwright. He's the author of Concerto on Market Street and the playwright of When the Junkie Stole the Clock. And he's been anthologized in countless anthologies, including Bum Rush the Page. Please give it up for Jesus Papoleto Melendez.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's good to see everyone here this evening. Zaki, Miguel, Miriam, Tato. I'm supposed to introduce Tato's award in a minute, but however, I'm supposed to read some poetry. Okay. They told me these things a month ago in an email. Well, it's good to see you guys. You guys are great. Thank you very much for coming this evening to celebrate this day and this event and this award ceremonies with us. Which, you know, Adan, where are you, Adan? Thank you very much, Adan. Adan has kept this tradition going. Thank you very much, brother man. Really appreciate it. It's not easy. It's not easy to keep any kind of tradition going, okay? Okay? The system is always against traditions, okay? Unless they're illicit. But if they're not, okay, like if they're of the heart and things like that, they're. So thank you. So we're gonna have many more awards like this, and we have to honor many more people that are in our community that need being honoring, because, you know, if we don't do it, you know, like somebody else might not do it, and we shouldn't wait for them to do it. We should do it ourselves, because then, you know, we empower ourselves to do such a thing as, you know, like acknowledging who the hell we want to acknowledge for doing whatever the hell they did, for, you know, whether they were drunk or sober. Thank you. Okay, yes. Here's my poetry reading. I selected a couple of poems that I like a lot, and to share with you, just a couple. This is called Guatiao, which is a Taino word which means friendship, and you know, it meant something to me and Pedro, particularly. Guatiao. The space people from outer places wore long gowns that were made of moon thread. And these gowns had other space people inside. These space people from outer places wore smiles that were very sad. But these outer places from which they came were places of inner too. They had no clocks or other machines to tell time. They measured space, and also they could fly. I know these people from outer places. They are my friends. And every now and then, these people reach through space their fingers to touch about my ankles. This is called Cosmic Mission Cosmonauts, from me and Pedro. When the bottom of my life had fallen out, and I was down and out, fending for myself in an anti-poetic world, my shadow having left its shadow sitting on the stoop of my youth to contemplate the meaning of this life for itself, to get back to me when I had discovered the answer and its meaning. You and I began our meeting that became our lifelong cosmic mission of chaos to control, walking the naked streets of free verse rhythm and its rhyme, pounding concrete streets till dawn, covering each other's back, lulled into a drunkard's sleep until the world began its mundane day anew. We were drunk and mad. We were mad and drunk with love and drunk with poetry and the rums of Puerto Rico, because the two go so well together. And you and me, like you and me, were the very best of friends to personify the sacred rhyme, indeed until the very end. Okay, and this, my final poem in this series, one of my favorite poems to read, but I'm gonna read it like my way, like a little bit jazzy, okay. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, since we're at a poetry reading. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth.
Break it up!
Then took the other as just a fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and pointed where. The West for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diver in a yellow wood. I took the one less traveled by.
Bravo!
And that has made all the difference. So that leads me to talk about the honoree tonight that I have known for over 30 years. So I had to go to Wikipedia to get the biography. Yo, bro, it's really cool. You gotta hear it. Yeah, it got footnotes. So, oh, wait a minute. Shit. Time out.
¡Lo jodiste!
Nunca, brother, nunca.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Oh, no, se me perdió.
No. You guys think shit. Oh, hold on, right? You guys never heard that poem like that shit. Your English teacher wasn't gonna do that. Okay, here it is. What it is that Tato La Viera es un amigo mío Tato, who has my namesake Tocayo, because his name is Jesus. And I'm Jesus. Jesus Abraham, Jesus Papoleto, Jesus Cristo. You know. Somos zurdo, we were born on Tuesday the 13th. ¿Qué más quiere? Okay, you know. We're just gonna behave the way we want to, okay? Okay, your term is coming up next week, okay? That is to say we have the same name within our names that makes Jesus Abraham, yeah, I told you, Jesus Abraham, the name of Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Tato La Viera.
¡Bravo!
Now, Tato La Viera, aquí en Wikipedia dice que his occupation es poeta. His literary movement is Nuyorican, made famous by Sotomayor. Now, Tato La Viera was born in 1951, se supone. Is a New Rican poet that was born in Puerto Rico but moved to New York City, como muchos New Rican poets ese tiempo, porque that's what they were doing, in 1960. La Viera poetry addresses language and is written sometimes in Spanish, sometimes in English, more often in Spanglish. Cultural identity, race, and memory, particularly as it affects the transcultural aided lives of Puerto Ricans living in the United States. I looked up cultural, transcultural aided because, you know, it's like, you know, pensando. Is a term coined by the Cuban anthropologist Fernando Ortiz in 1947, before Tato was happening here on this planet. He was doing something somewhere else. He wasn't even New Yorican yet, but that came out. Okay? In addition, he has published muchos libros, like La Cajeta made a U-turn because it was going in the wrong damn direction, ¿verdad? So it needed to make a U-turn to, like, you know, like muchos Latinos. And finally, as the wizard, you know, told the lion in The Wizard of Oz that a heart is not measured by how much it loves, but by how much it is loved. And that's why we're honoring Tato La Viera today.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Perdóname, pero yo todavía puedo ver. Con la ayuda.
This is your hand award. Should we put it on your table?
¿Tienes sal? Pedro Pietri. I've been writing a poem about you por 3 años en español. Y una estrofa dice que él lo vi sentado hablándole a 50 independentistas en inglés. Y ellos se reían en español. And that was his brilliance. Y después le otorgaban pesetas a la maleta que hablaba. Y si estaban escondidos, también salía un montón de cosas por el condón. Para ti, Pedro, gracias. To the embassy, a word that I, let me hold this in my hand. A word that I wanted to give them today, and that is embassy. This is the great base, the embassy. It's a wonderful tribute. Adal, I want to run him forever. Y Mariposa, you're the forever minister of our country. Thank you. And to my great brother, Jesus Papoleto Melendez, I believe that nobody has run the word, the New Rican word and the jazz word, through the nationhood of America, representing us other than him, and he's still flowering with the epitaph of still living in El Barrio. Thank you. Ahora, con el permiso de la mano. Sí. I was so nervous because I didn't know what to recite, so que venga lo que venga. I am accompanied by the mother of my only daughter, ella, Sonia, whose birthday is today. So my little So ganó español.
Yeah, hit it.
So I was in Indiana, waiting in a migrant camp to go to recite to the church. Entonces me pusieron una
Abanico.
no,
Parachute.
umbrella. Sombrilla. Y salió un viejito de allí con una fruta y me dijo, oye, pero qué lindo, tú negro ahí sentado y yo allá recogiendo la fruta. ¿Por qué no le dice al condenado español ese que me trajo a este país? ¿Por qué no le escribe algo a él?
Vamos, tíratela.
Y en 15 minutos salió la doncella, nieta, hacia donde mí, tan linda y tan bella, y me dijo, mi abuelo espera el poema. Español. We who engage, entonces, out of our spiritual resolve, español, we began to create con tu español diploma apellido de la nada. Adentro de mis rutas migratorias, producción de nueva cultura, nuestras guaguas recogiendo las frutas de tal brea fría en la migra. Nuestros callos are recycled en un cuero duro, un tremendo bilinguazo de pobreza. Nos abandonaste, España. Nos vendiste, España. You sold us out. Ahora nuestra piel esquinillera now te adoba con palabras migrantes en el hemisferio. Cross root fertilizing, sueños podridos, stitch inside singer machines. Ahora nuestra gente de sangre gorda, metiéndole miedo a tu Real Academia Española, cucándote con millones de palabras continentales, trabalenguas mixturadas en asuntos hemisféricos, combinando lingüísticas en proporciones humanas. El español sagrado, ¿dónde está el micrófono ese? No te pierdas, no coja miedo. El español sagrado es una frontera jíbara, indígena, combinada, indígena, indística, mixturadas en el español sagrado. Es una frontera jíbara, indígena. Ella me dice, tú lo sabes, papi. El sagrado. Jíbara, indígena.
Ay, papi, canta.
Now the world anxiously awaits our noveleros, poeteros, combinándose en diciendo we existed before we discovered Colón. El español sagrado, sucursal de entremaneos, like the 77 dialectos you speak, España desdichada, you took the gold, leaving us hemispherically weak to reconstruct your traditional European lengua into a modern Western hemispheric tongue. Pero aún, I love you, Español. You are one of my lenguas, part of my tongue. I'm going to fight for you, Spanish. I love you con todo mi corazón, pero concho, qué tragedia, qué contra tu Dixie, oh, español. From the book Mixturado. Muchas gracias.
Otro aplauso para Tato La Vida. Fantástico. Coming up next, we have Jose Pepo Saavedra. Pepo has been developing his musical career as a singer-songwriter, following the tradition of Latin American song and musical genre known as Nueva Canción. Papo has released 3 albums, Veredos Verdes, Versos Reversos, and his latest, Ver Cadáver. His work is a call to reflection, questioning action, and solidarity among all humankind. Please put your hands together for Pepo.
I came to the United States roughly 13 years ago, and I suffered my first writer's block. And I have to say that the work of Pedro inspired me to continue writing again. So he has that healing quality, that spiritual quality that it's able to touch many of us, even though we never shared the same room with him. And so I met Adal through a friend just a little while ago, and the opportunity presented itself for me to share a song with you tonight, and for me it's a real honor. And so here's to Pedro, Ver Cadáver. Ver cada verso abandonado a la orilla del camino, ver cada sueño disecando realidades, desatinos, ver cadáveres desplomándose ante el ruido y los lamentos, ver cada tiempo acribillando a lo vencido, ver cada campo incendiado sin ningún sentido, ver cada ver es como encontrarse cara a cara ante el recuerdo de tus propios ojos, ver y verse ante la duda, verse ante el recuerdo, verse en cada paso y verse en cada muerto. Ver y verse en la desgracia, verse ante el tirano, verse en la violencia y verse en cada mano, ver y verse en la vergüenza, verse ante el destierro, verse en las verdades y verse en cada ver. Verso, alela, nela, nene, nena, 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 nena. Alela, lena, lena, na, nene, la, nene, nena. Alena, lena, lena, na, nene, la, ne. Ela, nene, nene, la, nene, nene. To see every verse abandoned at the side of the road, to see every dream embalming realities, failures to see cadavers collapsing against the noise, the laments to see every age wounding those who have fallen, to see every field set on fire without apparent reason to see. And to see every side is to find oneself face to face, watching the reflection of your own eyes. And to watch and to see yourself in front of doubt, and to see yourself against the memory, and to see yourself in every step, and to see yourself in every death, and to watch and to see yourself against disgrace, and to see yourself against the tyrant, and to see yourself in violence, and to see yourself in every hand, to watch and to see yourself against shame, and to see yourself against exile, and to see yourself in truth, and to see yourself in every verse. And what is that we want to see? Is it to watch dead bodies floating on streams? And what is that we want to see? Is it to watch children dismembered by bombs to see? And what is that we want to see? Is it to watch mothers assembling missiles to see? And what is that we want to see? To see the ones that have survived, to see the amputees, to see the wounded, and to see the dispossessed, to see the ones invaded, to see the executioners, to see the little ones, to see the ones without land, to see the deportees, to see finally the tyrants behind bars, to see. ¿Y qué es lo que queremos ver? Muertos flotando en arroyos ver. ¿Y qué es lo que queremos ver? Niños desmembrados por las bombas ver. Y ver, y qué
queremos ver. Madres armando misiles, ver y ver. ¿Y qué es lo que queremos ver? A los que quedaron vivos, ver y ver los amputados, ver los malheridos, ver los despojados y ver los invadidos, ver a los verdugos y ver a los pequeños, ver a los sin tierra, ver los deportados, ver a los tiranos tras la reja, ver y ver cada verso abandonado a la orilla del camino, ver cada sueño disecando realidades, desatinos, ver cadáveres desplomándose ante el ruido y los lamentos, ver cada campo incendiado sin ningún sentido, ver cada campo incendiado sin ningún sentido, ver cada ver es como encontrarse cara a cara ante el reflejo de tus propios ojos, ver.
Muchas gracias.
Let's give it up once again for Pepo. That was beautiful. Okay, in keeping with the tradition of the Pedro Pietri Embassy shows, in the flyer it said surprises and surprise guests. I am the surprise guest. I am. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Frank Perez. I'm a writer and poet and director, and I've had a lot of fun times with Pedro, working with him and his plays and touring and doing a lot of things that I'm not going to mention right now. Anyway, I have the honor of introducing our next recipient and the person who is going to give that person the gift of the hand. Now, before I do that, I would like to say that I'm really honored to be here tonight, because all of the people that are receiving awards tonight, I have some type of a special connection, including Tato, bendición. Miriam Colon, bendición. Miriam was one of the first. I went to her playwrights unit when the theater first opened on 48th Street. I was one of your playwrights, and I am really honored to see you and be here with you again. Also, the others I have connections to, which I'll tell you later. Anyway, is Mickey Melendez in the house? Mickey. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring up two people tonight. One of them is someone very close to all of us, and we know her very well. She is someone that is very close to all of us, and she will also present the award to Dilcia Pagan. Dilcia Pagan is someone that we love. Yes, let's give it a round. La Dilcia, that's right. And so to introduce and to give the award to Dilcia Pagan, I would like you to all give a warm, warm welcome to Carmen Pietri. Carmen.
Politically incorrect. everyone know that Mickey Melendez could not be here, last minute emergency, so please forgive him. Anyway, I'm honored to stand here with Frank Perez to present this award to my sister, Dilcia Pagan, who gave up 20 years for all of us that are here today. Was also one of the first Latinas to crash into Channel 13 and bring us a lot of Latino programming. Okay, Puerto Rican programming, my mistake. With all our love, thank you to you and from Pedro. You can tell us what you're doing today.
Tell another story. I'll put it here. And I'll thank you, Carmen. It's a wonderful evening for me because as I look around, I know the words of all the poets that have performed for you, but yet they have been part of my spirit in my life, and it's because of them. Santa Maria Esteves just came, you know, and she's here. That's my sister. And Pedro will be and is my brother forever and ever. I am so honored that his book on the Puerto Rican obituary was dedicated to me. And my co-defendant, Elisan Escobar, did the artwork. Pedro, when I came out of prison, I wasn't in prison. I did my revolutionary sabbatical. Absolutely. They thought they had me inside, but I took care of them. It was incredible because he was reading in Old San Juan and he said, "Hey, Dilcia took me out of the closet." And he read his obituary in my honor. I said, "Ay, coño, Pedro, thank you, my love." And there's this young sister comes over and she says, "Dilcia." I said, "What, mamita?" She said, "Is Pedro gay?" And Pedro's sitting like, just where you are, Frank. And he takes the mic. He said, "Here you go, give me the mic." He said, "Let me tell everybody that Dilcia said, I am not gay. She took me out of the poetry closet because she paid me $200 for the first time in my life to do poetry in Brooklyn College." People know me as a television producer, as an activist. I am the ex-Puerto Rican political prisoner, and I will be for the rest of my life. I will believe in the freedom of our nation. But people ask, how did I become involved in television? Well, I'll tell you the story that's only going to be in my book that we're working on to get published this year, hopefully. Pedro Pietri, when Geraldo Rivera gets to be at ABC, because a brother from East Harlem, which is Roberto Rafael de Leon, got him the scholarship because the truth of the matter is the truth. Jerry called me, because that's what I've always called him. Jerry said, "Dilcia, what do I do for Puerto Rican program?" I said, "Well, damn, put Pedro on the show." So Pedro gets up on the air, he's on ABC Like It Is, and he does the obituary. And then he comes to my house, he said, "Yo, bro, listen, Charles Watson wants to co-host for Like It Is with Geraldo." And I told him, "You're the best one." And I said, "Oh, really?" I just come out of the hospital. I said, "Okay, minor woman problem." So Charles Watson came to my apartment on the Hunt Test Street, and some of you must know, remember it. My first apartment. And then Charles ended up telling me, I feel like I became the associate producer and producer of Like It Is. So that's where my real television career started, thanks to Pedro Pietri. So another cheer to my brother. You know, Pedro's, we all know him as the poet of the absurdity. But you know what? Right now, I live in our nation, I live in Loisaida, and we are going through a very difficult period in Puerto Rico. I don't want to get very political, but you know, I have to. The governor wants us to be a state, and that would never happen, right? Nunca jamás Puerto Rico va a ser un estado de Estados Unidos. Hay que garantizar eso, ¿cierto? Además, we look at our nation is being privatized and we all live here, but we also have to continue. Let us not be sporadic in our commitment to our struggle, because the diaspora is here. But we're there, and we're there, we live there. And what happens there affects all of us. So let us not get overwhelmed that we have a wonderful, I like the brother. We have the first brother president of the United States, and he's kind of hip. I kind of like the way he walks, you know. I kind of think he comes from the hood, right? I think so. But we also have to understand, and everybody in this room is very smart, very political, and very analytical. Let us not deceive ourselves. We have to protect our nation. September 10th, I'll be 10 years in freedom. So I would like to share with you one of my poems I just did. Thank you. Go ahead. 10 years in freedom. Freedom comes from our souls. It is part of our essence. Freedom. At times we suffer for freedom, and the end result is always beneficial. Freedom. Once I arrived to Borinquen, I felt freedom immediately in my heart, because our people received me from all walks of life with heartfelt embraces. Freedom. One thing I have realized is that I have always been a free woman, even while incarcerated, under the worst of conditions. Freedom. Personal freedom comes from within. When one is clear about what one believes in, I believe in the freedom of my homeland, Puerto Rico. Freedom. People say that I have a way of being that is strong and yet tender. I try to allow my heart to always guide me. Freedom. I have walked the streets of San Juan, Guanica, Jayuya, Yauco, and Juntas Las Marias. I have seen every day the need for freedom. Freedom. Puerto Rico appears to be free. Our people smile, dance, party, and share. Yet our country is still not free. We remain a colony of the United States of America, never being able to have self-determination. Freedom. In 10 years, I have witnessed many beautiful awakenings. The victory of Vieques, the outburst of support for Comandante Feliberto Ojeda after his assassination by the FBI. Freedom. The streets were filled with children, elders, government workers, even the police saluted his funeral entourage. Freedom. As time passes, the victims are forgotten. Reality sets in, nothing truly happens or has changed. Conditions of poverty, poor housing, miseducation, corruption prevails. But repression is alive and well, and will come more now. We must continue forward, never losing our spirit to be free. Freedom. I reside in Loisaida, where the Cimarrones lived and the essence of our Mother Africa roots are from. Young people here don't even know who Lolita Lebrón or Adolfina Villanueva are. They have no knowledge of the struggles their ancestors have endured. Freedom. Bomba and plenas are heard on the streets every weekend. Once a year, everybody hits the streets to celebrate La Fiesta de Loisaida. I wish we could celebrate the beauty of Mother Africa every day. I wish we could show our children the beauty of freedom every day in the schools, in the streets, in the libraries, in our plazas. Freedom. A freedom that encompasses why they are so beautiful and alive, why their bodies move to unknown rhythms, why their skin is in shades of luscious chocolate, why the vigilantes should be their heroes, why the vigilantes should be called love, why every female should know she is a cacica. Freedom. Freedom is something that comes from one's soul. My soul tells me that our battle has not been won. We must make freedom a priority in our lives. Freedom. Yes, freedom, a spirit to change what surrounds us, a change that incorporates all of our being, mind, body, and soul without fears. Freedom. Everything we need to accomplish in life has a consequence. We live, we love, we work, and we care, and we fight for what is real, and just with dignity and commitment. Freedom. Let us begin to walk the freedom walk. with heads held high, committed to humanity, self-determination, and self-love, let us walk and fight for a free Puerto Rico, freedom. Viva Puerto Rico libre. Miriam, te amo. Gracias. Thank you, my love.
Dilcia Pagan. Great woman, great patriot. Okay, Mari, you ready?
All right, give it up once again for our sister Dilcia Pagan. We love you, D. Okay, so we gotta keep it moving, and time is running fast. So because time is running fast, we have to keep it a little short. Please put your hands together for a sister who is an amazing vocalist, a very entertaining comic, and a determined Latina spirit. Is Cindy Sugar Rush in the house? Give it up for Cindy Sugar Rush.
Gracias a todos por estar aquí y por tenerme. Es un honor en realidad estar aquí, porque yo nunca tuve la oportunidad de conocer al reverendo, pero es un honor estar aquí y poder representar en su memoria y follow Dulcia Pagan, who instilled so much in us. Hola mamita, ¿cómo está? Qué bueno verlas a todos. Bueno, tengo la oportunidad de estar aquí para compartir con ustedes un monólogo que yo escribí, que básicamente es un personaje que yo tengo que se llama Esperanza. Y es muy bonito ver tantas caras parecidas. Te quiero mucho, Rina. Y estoy aquí porque ustedes me dan la oportunidad. Con eso voy a seguir con lo siguiente. Por favor, si me dan su atención, o si no, que pueden mantenerlo a un mínimo. Voy a seguir hacia adelante. ¿Cómo estás, Miguel? Qué bueno. Para darle un background, este es un monólogo que yo escribí porque yo tuve la oportunidad de compartir en una competencia que se llama American Idol. En realidad yo cojo las experiencias de la vida real y las aplico al arte. Gracias por su atención. ¿Cómo está? Dale. No, fuck you, bitch. Don't make me shank you on American Idol. Ay, mío, Dios mío. I am so excited to be here. Randy, dog, you are mad skinny, bro. It's a miracle what a couple of staples could do to the stomach. I mean, what are you down to? Like, una latita de salchichitas carmelitas? Ay, bendito. Ay, Paula. I know I could be a little overwhelming, but you see, but that's why I love Paula. I pray for your pill-popping problem every night. Dios mío, ayuda a Paula con su problema de droga, señor. Of course, Simon, I could sing. That's why I'm here. I could sing anything. From Querida, from José José. O está Juan Gabriel. I can sing A mí me gusta andar de pelo suelto by Gloria Trevi. A mí me gusta andar de pelo suelto. Of course, Simon. I can sing in English. I'm a first generation Latina. Don't hate me because I can speak 2 languages, Simon. What do you want me to sing? I can sing anything. From Somewhere Over the Rainbow to Memories by, Barbra Streisand is Butter, baby. Okay, Simon. Don't get your panties in a bun, Simon. I'm gonna sing. Espérate, I gotta warm up. This swine flu está brutal. Me. Okay, I'm ready, Simon. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a place that I heard of once in a lullaby. One day I wish upon a star. No. Are you serious? I'm going to Hollywood, baby. I'm going
to Hollywood. Fue algo muy breve y muy corto, pero como quiera, gracias por su atención y es un honor estar aquí. Gracias a Miguel, que siempre me apoya, a Rina, a Mariposa, a Frank, a toditos. Y para adelante con the legacy of our Puerto Rican poets and artists. I am obliged to be here. Thank you so much.
I just want to take this really quick moment just to say how blessed I feel to have had the opportunity to go on the road with him. We've gone to Hartford and Allentown, two very important cities on the diaspora Rican map. Let me just tell you. The rest of the memories, I've been sworn to secrecy, but give it up for Miguel Agarin.
Life is real simple for me. So I'll say a short poem and introduce you to an incredible woman. Yo veo, tú ves, y cuando yo veo lo que tú ves, el espacio entre tú y yo desaparece. Pero todavía desespero porque no sé si tú hiciste lo que yo hice para lograr ver lo que tú ves. Decía. Ay. Now, in introducing the incredible person I'm going to introduce, I want you to clap when we do this. La 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 le 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 ya trucutum cutum cutum trucutum cutum cutum trucutum cutum cutum. La fabulosa Miriam Colón. Oye, Miriam, lo que tengo es una mano para ti, fíjate. Y lo que tú tienes es un gran espíritu.
Bueno, esta es una ocasión muy especial. Me siento honrada de haber sido escogida para recibir este trofeo. Pero me siento humilde porque en esta sala están los pioneros del movimiento de la poesía en Nueva York y frente a la labor que ellos han hecho, pues es muy poco lo que uno puede alardear, porque aquí están los visionarios. Pedro causó una gran impresión en mí cuando una vez fue Pablo Cabrera que dijo que quería producir en el Teatro Rodante puertorriqueño un programa de poesía y me dijo que se llamaba Puerto Rican Obituary. En aquel entonces nosotros lo que teníamos era una covachita por allá por la calle
Una obra maestra.
28, era un sitio donde eventualmente nos votaron. Y yo recuerdo lo que Pablo hizo con aquel poema, él la convirtió en una obra dramática. Él no le alteró una palabra, no le alteró una sílaba. Él hizo ese poema dándole todo un trasfondo de, ¿cómo se dice?, un velorio y aquellas mujeres comentando. Y yo quedé tan estremecida cuando vi aquello que me di cuenta entonces la fuerza, la visión, la ira, la poesía, el ojo, el oído increíble de este poeta, que podía captar en poesía todo lo que él veía y aún así nos hacía reír. Quiero simplemente aceptar esto con un pensamiento para Pedro y con un pensamiento para los poetas y las poetas que laboran aquí y contribuyen a enriquecer nuestra cultura y que en una que otra ocasión también las hemos tenido en el teatro rodante puertorriqueño. Así que con ello yo rindo un homenaje a los poetas y las poetas, al Centro de Estudios Puertorriqueños y a los gigantes que están aquí esta noche y otros que no están, pero que son, que nos han llenado de orgullo y nos han enriquecido. Muchísimas gracias. ¡Bravo!
Gran aplauso para Miriam Colón. Se te quiere de gratis, Miriam. Okay, we're going to continue to move this along quickly, folks. Pedro's work was influenced very much in the irreverent traditions of the Dadaist movement, who used dark humor to mock conventional aesthetics and cultural values, and producing and marked by nonsense, travesty, and incongruity. In keeping with this tradition, I'd like to bring the next presenter. I discovered El Viejito Bismarck's animations recently at the Puerto Rican Poets Cafe. Was so impressed that I invited him to present here at the Pedro Pietri Hand Awards. So tonight, you'll get to enjoy some of Viejito Bismarck's very idiosyncratic and Latino take on Family Man.
Primeramente es un honor de estar aquí presente, gracias Adam por esto, y también le quiero dar gracias también a una persona que por ella, él tuvo el honor de verme y traerme aquí, estar presente, para enseñarle mi talento, haciendo Sugar. Gracias, tú sabes que siempre cuento contigo. Bueno, la verdad es que conocí mucha gente aquí, mucho talento, muchas cosas, la verdad es que es algo nuevo para mí, y bueno, esto es algo que la verdad, para que todo el mundo lo goce, tengo los DVD en venta. Thank you.
Gracias, El Viejito Bismarck. Give it up for El Viejito Bismarck. Carmen Pietri, can you step up to the mic? Carmen will present the next presenter.
The next award is going to go posthumously to a great Puerto Rican hero, Jose Torres, boxer, champion, journalist, and Puerto Rican activist. And I'd like to and Ponceño, that's right. And I'd like to bring one of his Ponceño childhood friends to the mic, who's going to accept the award on behalf of the family, Dr. Nancy Ayala. Let's give it up. I think Nancy has some anecdotes that you'll want to hear.
Buenas noches. Una de las cosas que Chegui era miembro de la junta del colegio Boricua College, y era una cosa que él estaba muy orgulloso y lo hacía muy bien. Y todos los años en la graduación siempre él me molestaba con el mismo chiste. Cuando estábamos en la escuela de Queen Belby en la playa de Ponce, y mi mamá me había hecho un traje nuevo, de una tela blanca con unas rositas bien lindas. Y yo no me quería sentar porque se me dañaba el traje.
Pero seguro.
Y entonces, pues, él quería hablarme y yo no quería ni que me miraran, ¿verdad? Yo pues estaba en sexto grado con mi falda, ¿verdad? Con mucho vuelo. Y él me había traído unas quenepas. Yo no quería las quenepas. Pues entonces yo cogía las quenepas, las chupaba y me las tiraba. Y yo rabiosa porque cada vez que eso me pegaba, pues me manchaba el traje, ¿verdad? Así que después que me dio como 2 o 3 con las quenepas, se me subió todo lo negro para arriba y él se acordaba, la única persona que le dio y lo derrotó una pela, esa fui yo.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm stuck right here. Frank or Adele, which one is up?
Gracias, un aplauso bien grande para Dr. Nancy Ayala. Mariposa.
I have a request from the hereafter. It's to share a quote from El Manifesto. To be free means to be proud of yourself. To be proud of yourself means to be creative. To be creative means to defend your dreams. To defend your dreams means to make your dreams come true in your lifetime. And once your dreams come true, you will never have to be afraid of dying for as long as you live. El Reverendo Pedro Pietri. The second request is that people visit the table up front because Pedro's work is for sale, because he would definitely want that mentioned. Okay, so let me bring up a powerful sister who I've known for many years, who, in addition to having a PhD in sociology, like so many of us, including myself, because PhD stands for Puerto Rican holding it down. In case you didn't know, we got how many PhDs in the house? What's up? She's also the author of 2 books, New Yorkers from the Hip Hop Zone, and her newly released El Reggaeton. In addition, she is a vocalist and a musician. Give it up for Raquel Z. Rivera.
Well, I must tell you first that my accordionist is in Puerto Rico. I have his accordion though. That's my dad. So take that into account. I do have my guiro player here, and that's Adal, straight from the mountains of Utuado, right? Yeah. So because religion and spirituality is all about interpretation, I choose to believe that La Madre de los Tomates, in terms of the church of the Mother of the Tomatoes, it must be Mary Magdalene. And I'm a big time Mary Magdalene devotee, so I'm going to play a salve for Mary Magdalene, but I need your help. I need help on the coro. So, the coro is, can you hear that in the back? Yeah? Okay. So the coro is, al pie de la cruz Magdalena, al pie de la cruz Magdalena. Can you help me out with that? Eso es lo de menos. Ok, pues fuímonos entonces. Okay, so I'll sing the coro first, then you sing back to me, and then I'll take over the verses. And it's call and response, okay? Okay, fuímonos. Al pie de la cruz Magdalena, al pie de la cruz Magdalena. Now, al pie de la cruz Magdalena, Divina María Magdalena, allá en el Calvario mi morena, de la cruz Magdalena. Wait, I think we need to get together over here, I think. My apologies. Dale tú primero. Chat. There we go, okay. Al pie de la cruz Magdalena. Pedro no negó nunca a ella, y al pie de la cruz mi morena. Judas a Jesús traicionó, Magdalena nunca lo abandonó. Si los pies Jesús lavó María, por ella lo mismo él haría. Magdalena fiel siempre fue, Divina María de la fe. Al pie de la cruz Magdalena, al pie de la cruz Magdalena. Muchas gracias en nombre de María Magdalena.
Give it up for Raquel Z. Rivera and Adal.
Sí, gracias.
The hidden talents of the embassy. Okay. Next up. Besides, I just want to say this next brother I've known for many years, so I don't need an index card, but I was requested, maybe by him or maybe by someone in the hereafter, to read this. Besides being a poet, our next performer is a published author, producer, produced playwright, Obie Award-winning director, film producer, and his most challenging role, the father of beautiful twin girls. He has directed Pedro's plays, I must say, including A Living Room, in which I had the pleasure of playing the character Tremenda, and performed with him on tour throughout the Caribbean in 2002, El Viequetón, Viejo San Juan, and many other places. He has drank with Pedro many times and is currently looking on a cure for Latin insomniacs. Give it up for Frank Perez.
Thank you, Mari. Okay, I'm going to be very quick. Good night. Not that quick. No, I've been requested to, keep it moving, so I will keep it moving, okay? All right. Okay, the first thing I want to do, and I want to say, the one thing about Pedro in doing shows with him and hanging out with him is that he had a really great sense of humor, man. He didn't take himself so seriously like the way a lot of poets do these days. It's like, oh, no, man. It's like he enjoyed life. It's like, come on, man. So in keeping with that spirit, I wrote this piece called Spoken Word or Poetry. Which do you want? Okay. Many people ask, is spoken word poetry? Or is poetry spoken word? Here are some types of poetry and spoken word that I've heard. I am the traditional orator. I speak my words articulately, the old school way of poetry. My words are like speeches. Sometimes I go too long and make you say, Jesus. I am the mellow poet. I speak in mellifluous prose. Like a rose, my words are soft and smooth. And when you hear them, they make you go, ooh. I am the ranter and the raver. I rant and I rave to save the earth. I rant and I rave because I feel the urge. I rant about this. I rave about that. I rant to rave. I rave to rant. I rant and rave until I can't. I am the memorizer. The memorizer bunny, I will dazzle you with how many words are in my memory. I will hit you with words and images, images and words, words and words, lengthy explanations, all to show how many words I can keep in me. Do I have a message? Let me see. Nope, I'm just a memorizer bunny, always talking about me, me, me. Spoken word is poetry. We're all part of the same literary tree. Spoken word is poetry, and poetry is me. Thank you. Okay, next piece I want to read is a piece called The Man in Black. This is dedicated to Pedro, particularly. His words flow, his mind goes, his eyes rose, as the original Man in Black sets up to attack. Woke up this morning feeling excellent. The literal liberator of New York's Puerto Rico, the emancipator of Puerto Rican angst, the cuentero or storyteller of the journey de Mami y Papi on the Marine Tiger, through our own Boricua Bible, the Puerto Rican obituary. And the words of wisdom flow again. To be a poet, you have to remain single forever with someone who will never let you go. A mentor to some, a partner in crime to others, and his street wisdom continues. The best way to teach children about poetry is by keeping your mouth shut and listening to what they have to say. So if you think you're a poet, check out The Man in Black. What he did and what he wrote is, in particularly and articulately, it really ain't whack. His shoes are too big to fill, so don't try, you'll just get ill. With the last line unwritten and no time to finish the last rhyme, the poem remains undone, the book remains open, our work here has just begun. Okay, I'm gonna close with a piece that Pedro has always asked me to read for him. He called it the prayer poem. Those of you who have heard it know it. It's called Rhythm of Life. In the name of the clave, maraca, and holy bongo, I cheer to all of you tonight. In the beginning there was rhythm. From the fiery flames of Africa to the cool Caribbean breeze, there was rhythm. From the bloody swords of the conquistadores to the lush guitar strings of Pedro Flores, there was rhythm. From the Taino test of Urayoan to the tropical projects of St. Anne's, there was rhythm. From the blood-stained earth of the men, women, and children of the Ponce massacre to the tear-stained flag and cry of Libre del Grito de Lares, there was rhythm. From the primal screams of Albizu for freedom, from the chains that bind us to the mambo mentality, café con leche, ron con coke, pastele reality that defines us, there was rhythm. From the bomba y plena waves of Luquillo Beach to the guaguanco of guitar-shaped Latinas of Orchard Beach, there was rhythm. From Hector's battle cry of mi gente, ustedes, to Eddie's sweet smell of café, tostado y colao, there was rhythm. From repression, depression, and oppression came the jam session, and they came African, Puerto Rican, New Yorican, Dominican, Mexican, Jamaican, nosotros can, we can, Latinos can. When we came, we told our story through the drum, then via Radio Bemba Bochinche, words of mouth. The words you have heard are all true. No names have been changed to protect the innocent because there are none. We're all guilty. Tonight we shall find out if it takes SPICs, a.k.a. special people of international character, to see the beauty of the spoken word and realize the fact that you, me, and we are the rainbow trinity. In the name of the clave, maraca, and holy bongo, Ache. Gracias, familia. Gracias. And with that, thank you very much. Thank you, familia. And now I would like to introduce Mariposa, who is going to introduce our next award winner. Thank you.
Give it up for Frank Perez one more time. Okay. All right, it is such an honor for me to present the next award to a beautiful sister. And for those of you who may not know, in so many ways, we touch each other's lives. It's so amazing how we touch each other's lives, that if it wasn't for this sister, I don't think that I would be standing here in front of you. It's this sister that led me to Pedro Pietri and to Sandra Maria Esteves. And when I was a teenager, and I didn't even know what a Nuyorican was, or what Nuyorican poetry was, or that Puerto Ricans wrote, or that there was ever a woman named Julia de Burgos. It was my African American brothers and sisters that inspired me to write poetry, and the anthology Black Poets by Dudley Randall, who introduced me to Gwendolyn Brooks and to, my God, just so many inspirations, and Maya Angelou, and I don't want to forget any, Nikki Giovanni, and just so many. Yeah, Julia de Burgos too, but that came later, Papa. So, one day I was in the library, and maybe I was about 14 years old, and I found a book, and it was the cover that really, it was the title, and it was like a really long title, and then I pulled the book off the shelf, and light might as well have just poured out of this book, and the cover was so beautiful, and I was like, oh my God, this is me. This is like a reflection of who I am, and somebody that knows my soul. So I'm gonna read her bio, and then I'm gonna read something special for her. And her name is Ntozake Shange. She declares herself a poet first and playwright second. She's a dancer, actor, director, author, lecturer, and Black feminist. In 1971, she adopted the name Ntozake Shange from Kosa, Osa, a Zulu dialect which signifies she who comes into her own things, Ntozake, and she who walks like a lion. In a 1990 interview with Neil A. Lester, Shange explains, I'm a firm believer that language and how we use language determines how we act, and how we act then determines our lives and other people's lives. Shange was born Paulette Williams in Trenton, New Jersey. Was propelled into the national literary and dramatic scene in 1974 with the dramatic debut of For Color Girls Who've Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough, making her the second African-American woman to ever have her play on Broadway, Lorraine Hansberry being the first. Can you tell how proud I am of you?
and has since maintained a literary presence, garnering awards and honors for her achievements as a dramatist, poet, and novelist. Her list of creative achievements has steadily increased through the writing of several dramas, such as From Okra to Greens, or was it From Okra to Collard Greens? Okra to Greens, 1978, A Photograph, A Still Life with Shadows, a photograph of Study in Cruelty, which was revised as a photograph, Lovers in Motion, and published with Spell number 7, 1979, Boogie Woogie Landscapes, 79, in 3 pieces, 81. Other dramas include Where the Mississippi Meets the Amazon, co-authored with Jessica Hedgedorn and Luthani Ngabinga, Mother Courage and Her Children, 1980, and Daddy Says, 89. Her poetry collections include Nappy Edges, 78, and Riding the Moon in Texas, 1989. And her books and essays include Sassafras, a Novela, 77. Some Men, 81. Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo, 82. A Daughter's Geography, 83. See No Evil, Prefaces, Essays, and Accounts, 76 to 83. Shange entered Barnard College in 1966, graduated with honors, pursued a master's degree in American Studies at the University of Southern California. Although For Color Girls assured Shange's place in the African-American dramatic canon and remains her most celebrated piece, the years from 77 to the present, I might add, have been continually productive. Mother Courage and Her Children won Shange a second Obie in 1981. 3 pieces earned her the Los Angeles Times Book Review in 1981, and the same year she was granted a Guggenheim Fellowship and Columbia University's Medal of Excellence. Shange was appointed to the New York State Council to the Arts and was an artist in residence at Houston's Equinox Theater. And this is for you. Yeah. And Suzaki. Because of you, I believe in sisterhood and soulful sunshine translated into song, accidental genius, and rainbow rivers like the river that led me to you. Dreams come true, true love on wings of poetry, roaring African savanna lions lying peacefully with the once hunted, rainbow butterflies dancing gracefully with the once haunted. And Tazaki, like you, I believe in the peace found in healing, the healing that can only be found in the alchemy of testimony, transformed into golden moments, shared survival, bonds of true connection. And because I am one of those color girls who survived the inescapable, unspeakable rites of passage which compelled me to consider suicide, to by God's mercy and grace discover the you in me and the power to set my own self free, to uncover my own strength in and on stages, find salvation within the pages, to be a poet who survived to tell her story and survived by telling it. And Tazaki, thank you for blazing the path. Thank you for your courageous example to find and act on the means to reclaim the lost innocence of my girlhood, to create a beautiful mosaic of dreams once shattered and scattered into a million fragmented pieces, to give birth to a new universe, purpose, conviction, a work of art, an open sky, rainbow inspiration. For all the Black and brown girls like me, born with the divine right to be on this planet, to be loved, valued, and respected. And Tazaki, because of you, I am a poet who believes not in writing poems on L-shaped desks with lakeside views, but in birthing poems on tile floors back up against wooden doors. I am a poet who believes in creation, in writing poems to inspire the next generation, in fire tears to cleanse the soul, cascade down to make you whole, and healing thunder laughter.
And I thank God that the rainbow was enough to birth a thunder goddess who birthed a rainbow, who birthed Entezaki, sunshine, moonlight, and stardust all over the place. As muses sparkled honey kisses on your beautiful baby girl face. Entezaki, I love you. Pen to paper, salsa dancing, Spanglish speaking, soul seeking, Africana diaspora diva. Entezaki, I believe in you. You are the rainbow reflection, reminding me to believe in myself. You lowered rainbows into sewers, saving the lives of so many girls of all colors, sashaying colorful head wraps, bangle bracelets, hoop earrings, and sweet oil perfume. You transform survival into magic metaphor, into choral poems, into novelas, into rainbow-colored Broadway lights, into the consciousness of our time, our collective memory, our collective survival. To know you is a blessing, to be hugged warmly, to look into your beautiful coffee eyes that whisper, this poem is for you. These words, this time, this breath, the rhythm of this heartbeat is for all the colored girls who've considered suicide, but instead held their own candlelight vigils in marble notebooks. Who fought demons all night waiting for the arrival of first light, who know that dawn is really a woman, the backdrop of a beautiful black sky and a rainbow laying sexy on her side. Frost led me to you, but because of you and Entezaki, I know that sometimes the greatest of poems are birthed in the agony of headaches, stomach aches, and heartache. Somewhere deep within the quiet peace of my soul, poems that make me whole, poems that set me free. Entezaki, gracias.
Hi, everybody, and thank you so much. It's good to be back, and thank you, Mariposa. And congratulations to all the other hand winners. Where's Mariposa? I wanted to thank Mariposa. I said, okay, she can stay with me. I was brought to tears the day that and Juan Valenzuela called me to tell me that I was going to be a recipient of a Pedro Pietri Hand Award. And I started crying and I ran through the house, and because I think not many of you know that I knew Pedro since I was 19 years old. And that's a long time. And he visited me all around the country, in San Francisco and Boston and Washington and Philadelphia, and we always kept in touch and kept together. One of our favorite things to do was to pick an avenue, like 8th Avenue, Hudson and 8th, and then get a big jug of wine.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm telling you, this is in my young adulthood. We would pick one of those bottles that has a handle on this side, and then we would put it in a paper bag. Papa used to go sometimes too. And you did too, yes.
I don't remember.
And we would take this big bottle and we would walk this 8th Avenue till we were out of the borough. And then we would sit down and we'd be tired, and then we'd get something to eat, and then we'd get another wine to walk home. But I kept a very good figure during this time because we walked everywhere except the one night we were going to go to the Palladium, and Pedro didn't have any brakes in the car. But we did get there, and we had nights when different ones of us would take different verses of Puerto Rican obituary and say it. We had nights when we spent the night with the Pietri family and the grandmother and all the boys, and it was an amazing relationship that I am still having, but it's not the same the way it was. And what I especially wanted to say tonight is that I have to thank Pedro Pietri and Jose Ana Figueroa, because one night they gave a great reception for Jose Luis Gonzalez. And everybody, all the poets are going to read that night. And it was all New Yorker poets. And I'm going, what am I going to do? I can't read, and these people are here and they don't speak Spanish. I can't do this. So I was hiding up against the wall so everybody would go around me. And Pedro stood over me and like put his hand on my head. And I'm going, what are you doing that for? He said, isn't that a poem? I said, yes, it's a poem. He said, well, why aren't you reading it? I said, it's in English. He said, so? They speak it? And so I read my first Spanglish poem in 1969 at the behest of the Reverend Pedro Pietri, and for that I am eternally grateful.
What was the poem?
What was the poem? I don't remember now. It was about Jimi Hendrix.
Hit it.
I don't have it now, Miguel. But I want to thank you all for being here with me when I received this Hand Award. And this way, I have it facing backwards. But this way, and know that it means the world to me. And I can't wait to show my daughter. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Adal. Thank you, everybody associated with the embassy.
Otro gran aplauso en Pisaki, Shanghai. The last award is a posthumous award, and it goes to Carlos Ortiz. Now I'm going to say a couple of words about Carlos. Carlos and I go back many years. My background having started as a photographer, I knew him as a photographer and as a filmmaker. And after I'm done here, a very special painter friend of ours also is going to come up and accept the award in Carlos's name. Carlos Ortiz was a noted photographer, filmmaker, television producer. Ortiz is known for his photographs of the South Bronx and for directing the film Machito, a Latin jazz legacy. Ortiz was born in Fajardo, Puerto Rico, and migrated as a child with his family to the South Bronx. He studied filmmaking at TV Productions at NYU in the late 60s and began his documentation of changes to the South Bronx, particularly his neighborhood around Dawson and Longwood Avenue in the 1970s. He consistently documented that area of the Bronx until his death in 2008, leaving us with an outstanding stock of images. Ortiz was among groundbreaking activists, filmmakers, and photographers that insisted mainstream media hire Puerto Ricans and Latinos. He worked as a producer of Imágenes Latino for the New Jersey Public Television in the early 1980s, and afterward began shooting his best-known film, Machito, a Latin Jazz Legacy, which was released in 1986. Carlos' photographs and films have been shown at El Museo del Barrio, the Bronx Museum, the Museum of the City of New York, and the Lincoln Center Jazz Festival, and now here at the Centro, where his archives are stored. And to accept for him, Jose Morales, por favor.
Good evening. I just want to say it's a great honor for me to, on behalf of Carlos, accept this award. I was thinking all day what Carlos might have said if he had been here tonight, and knowing him as I did, he would have only said thank you very much.
Bravo, bravo, Jose Morales happens to be a great artist, a great painter in his own right. Please, un aplauso para Jose Morales, por favor. We're going to move into the music part of the evening, but before that, can I have all of the honorees and all the poets and all the artists, please? We're going to take one big group photograph and then we're going to move right into the music.